Select date range. Huh. What's up, guys? um, okay. It's all in business news. Let me know if those computer alerts are too loud. GW, what does that mean? Good warming? GW. All right, good. I'm live on everything now. Thank you for the gift there, Seth. All right, let's start checking out how this market's doing. I've got some things going in my direction. Let's take a look. The largest movement in my direction in my portfolio is coming from MSI. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get a partial out on this today. And then also Galaxy. All right, all right. Moving against me, not much. Open door. A little bit of a pullback on my position there. How's everybody doing today? APLD, all right. Still under pressure on that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on day 4 of the 5-day swing short on APLD. ALAB looked like a good short on Friday, but it was kind of too good of a day to go for it, to pull the trigger on a short. Good morning. Ha! Let's go through some of these alerts here. First, I'm just checking the markets real quick. Okay, yeah. So we're still in a precarious spot. So I wouldn't really be. Oh, good morning, Mom. Grace's birthday today. Yeah, I know. Buffett bought a bunch of Google. I think 4 billion or something. Just a little amount. Happy birthday to Grace. Yeah, I saw what you said. She likes possums too. I'm pretty much out of everything long right now. I'm in a bunch of shorts and just waiting for the market to become healthy uptrend again, which is not. Anytime Bitcoin drops below the 200 moving average, the market suffers. Bitcoin is kind of leads the market. It's been doing that for a few years now, and it's been a good indicator. So the market's in trouble, sort of in shambles, sort of not shambles, but under pressure. And Bitcoin is one place where you can kind of get a reading on that sometimes. But the market is shooting up at the open here. We'll see what happens as far as where that goes throughout the day. Micron continues to be an amazing leader. Still in Salk, that looks good. Opendoor's hanging out just fine. A lot of pressure on this short on IREN, but it's hanging in there. Bounce off the 100 on FTAI. But again, I wouldn't be exposing anything yet. Where's the VIX at today? All right, see the VIX is sitting at 20.5. I mean, I just would not be exposing anything. Maybe get thirds entries throughout the day, maybe, but then you're exposing your capital. So, at most maybe a third or half end of day. See where it goes from there. Let me turn on the fan. It's getting a little bit warm in here under the heat lamps. Okay. Let's keep looking at everything here. Micron, new high. WWR. Yeah, that's just too much of a pullback. right there. I guess you guys can't see that when I draw that. No. Oh well. Anyway, too much of a pullback. I forgot I need to fix that drawing thing, which I should be able to do on the next session. Intel. Who knows how long these things will pull back for? Just not. It's not really time to get in yet, in my opinion. The VIX is elevated. Breadth is in a downtrend. That's not where you want things to be. So there's plenty of opportunities at very interesting pulled back points. But if you don't have momentum, breadth, then you don't have anything really happening that you can push capital into the markets for. So we have to wait for basically breadth to reset. We have to wait for the market to reset. We have to wait for this pullback to settle in and reset. EOS, nice bounce there. I got out of that. I was in long. I got out of that before it crapped out. But it's still a good, strong growth stock. Just we have to wait for the market to be in the bull cycle to allocate bull capital, so we don't get hit by bullshit. Just clicking through the alerts here so we can clear them all out. Boy, NKTR looks really nice. Make a quick little post about that. SoFi, the volatility is way too high. AMD kind of looks nice, but it's kind of unproven. One blip of price change, and then since then it's just been chop. It has some upward drift, but it's pretty slow. LRCX looks fantastic. That looks so good. I mean, there's quite a few stocks that look great. It's just not time to get in them. It's like climbing the Eiger before snowfall. Well, HY short continues to be under pressure and is working. I believe we're on day 4 of that one. Let me see. Yeah. So we'll close that out at the end of the day tomorrow. For now, it's 5 days short. We're just going to keep letting it run. Oh, I already. Oh, okay. I already had it 4 day. Change this to 5 day. All right, the market has bounced strongly off of this pre-market weekend pullback. We'll see where it goes from there. Looks pretty good on the QQQ chart. Looks like the day could go up. Was right in the middle of doing something. Yeah. Organizing my positions. Oops, I moved the wrong one. Okay. All right, there we go. So now these got to move into the fourth day. APLD short. CDNS short. IREN short. And SYM short. Okay, now Galaxy short. And we are now on day 2 on the Galaxy short. AVAV short. MSI. Rocket Lab sitting right at our break even. It will be interesting to see how the market plays out today, and then of course this week. We got Nvidia earnings this week on Wednesday, and I don't think that's really going to help. Yeah, I don't think that's really going to help even when it happens. Looks like we might get stopped out of PSTG today. That's okay. That's just 1 out of 15 positions moving against us. So many stocks look great. Not the ones I'm looking at there per se, but in general in the stock market, there's so much ready to go once we bottom out. Yeah, this WDC being one of them. Western Digital, and then also STX. Seagate and WDC kind of look similar because they're both storage. And I guess PSTG is related to that as well. But I thought this was when I first found this stock and it was moving and I got into it and I was making money on it years ago. I thought it was a storage company, like, for like in COVID, people could put like, stuff in storage. No, but I think it's a hard drive company or something. Data storage, yep. Well, in some sense it is storage, but it's for data. But, it really doesn't matter. I trade charts. I don't trade words. I trade charts. Let's see. RGTI. BMNR. Even still topping the list of things that people are putting money into. My goodness. Terrible. BE. Light. Basically everything looks, everything looks good. Just waiting for the green light from the VIX and the markets. The VIX is about to drop below 20. If we can get below 18, we can be in a much better spot where we can be opening thirds throughout the day and building positions below 18 on the VIX. But here at 20, no, maybe half midday or maybe a full at the end of the day, but only if really the market was set up that way. Long S&P, well, okay. And it might go somewhat sideways and be choppy from here for a little while. So I don't think necessarily that's terrible. And you can't wait all year for perfect timing. Okay, just this morning. Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, it's good. Breaking out towards the upside on the 1 minute. Microsoft chopping. S&P and the Nasdaq are moving up from the open. Nvidia also, Apple, Meta, Tesla, Google. And yet, for some reason, Microsoft is not in good shape. It hasn't been in good shape. Nvidia's in a fine spot for when earnings come across on Wednesday. Carvana, Slingshot. Just I wouldn't be allocating right now. That's the only issue. There's plenty of beautiful bounces everywhere, but waiting, is a superpower. I'm not sure if I can edit things in real time that you're seeing. Yeah, I probably should do that later. I was gonna maybe try and get it so that where I could draw and show you guys stuff, but no, I'm gonna have to wait. Yeah, IWM small caps not looking good. IJK mid caps in a sideways chop, and the market equal weights are definitely painting a slightly different picture than the top weighted markets. And it's basically saying we're chopping here. We're in a sideways trend. And that's confirmed by multiple bounces. Yeah. So Nvidia earnings are coming on Wednesday. And I think probably the whole market's going to be waiting for that, but I also don't think it's really going to change much. It might give it some support, but it's not really going to turn on the bull run. And then, it is even possible that it causes a problem. Yeah, when the VIX is down below 18, I may start allocating again. That might happen this week, depending how Nvidia goes. Okay, Rocket Labs moving in my direction, short now. Yeah, kind of a confirmed follow through bounce on Prim off of the 100. But it's still under a lot of pressure. It's underneath the 50, and the 10 and 20s are radically shooting downward there. But it can be back to 128 in a week. Oh, did Netflix split today? No kidding. $10 to 1. Ha! Netflix at $100 now. One of the things you might be looking for to stick a bottom here is a high volume bottom. And that hasn't really happened during this chopping pullback. So I don't really think the bottom is in yet. We'll see. We'll see. And I'm not talking about today. I'm just talking about in general. Major companies are bullish. Yeah, you said that. Yeah. I think everything's pretty much chopping around. Okay. We're getting a pullback in all the uranium assets. I'm looking at some shorts right now. Maybe by the end of the day, there'll be a good short out there. All right, let's see. ASTS now below 60. Like I said, where did I just see Unity and then I pulled it up? Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, QQQ pulling back a little bit right now intraday. 50% and bouncing. It fell under VWAP, which is a little discouraging for the bulls. But the equal weight's actually doing better, so we're getting some more support from smalls and mids. Yeah, smalls are doing good on the day, and IJK doing good. But the tops, mega caps, are not holding their morning rally as well. It's still holding it, just relatively speaking. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. That means the appetite for higher risk is growing. The interest in allocating into higher risk is going up, at least right now. This looks like a topping sign on gold. Check ETF. Let's see if I can get any sense of volume. Yeah, that's almost certainly a top. You have high volume, exhaustive extension, followed by a low volume, almost below average volume retest. So gold is not going to go higher for a long time. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it could be hundreds of days, in my opinion. And I guess that's somewhat of a good sign for the market. Let's take a look at rates. Oops, I pulled up the 1 year. I was kind of interested in the 10-year. Okay, there we go. Yeah, the 10 year is just holding at 4% plus or minus a percent, a half a percent or a percent. So it's just kind of holding at, I guess, an average, a mean of 4.3%. And it's been doing so for since August of 23. So rates remain elevated. Oh, this PRM looks pretty good. Very high relative strength right now. But very little volume. The volume seems to be waning. Well, my positions are doing just fine. Welcome in, Cody. Let's take a look at the market intraday, see how it's going. See how it's handling the VWAP bounce. And it did fail the VWAP bounce, so that's not good. So we're probably going to chop today at best. We might even break down a little bit. No, but I was looking at gold a minute ago. CJ. And I said gold topped out. Gold put in a gold right now has a pretty classic top sign in. And will probably be topped for at least 100 days, 3 months minimum. Just doesn't have the volume to follow through. It's proving itself weak. Not my fault. So anyway, I just went over that, and yeah, gold is pretty much topped out. So PRM, yeah, good stock. Let's see, Microsoft made a new low, intraday low of the day. Google remains somewhat strong. The S&P, similar to the market. NASDAQ, choppy looking. NVIDIA, weak. It looks a little bit weak. Apple's doing okay. So is Tesla. But Microsoft and NVIDIA, probably the weakest of the bunch. Meta is kind of exactly where the market is, like right kind of choppy, middle no man's land. Yes. Trade stock. Yeah, Rocket Lab looks like it wants to break lower. So that's going to help our short. We're on day 2 of that short, of that 5-day short strategy. Am I? What is that? What are you talking about? Oh, okay. AMXI. It must have auto corrected it. That no, that's not coming up. Maybe maybe it's the wrong ticker, or maybe it's like crypto or something, and it just won't pull up. Micron, number one traded stock today in growth. Projected to have 20 billion in inflows by the end of the day. SanDisk, storage company, that's went from 40 to 290 in like 2 months. It is the fourth strongest traded growth stock today. So what is that? 290 divided by 40. So it's up 625% in like 2 months. Okay, that's absolutely insane. This SanDisk is one of the hottest growth stocks on the market right now. That's absolutely insane. What are they saying about that in the news? Let's see. SanDisk maintained overweight by Morgan Stanley. Buy by Citigroup. Equal weight Wells Fargo. Overweight Cantor Fitzgerald. Buy by Benchmark. Outperformed by Wedbush. Positive by Susquehanna. Q1 revenue beat. Revenue up 23%. Why? What are they doing so well? They just have good margins, probably. Let me see. They had a terrible quarter 3 quarters ago. Then they have pretty tight margins at 5%. So what the hell is causing them to grow 600% in 2 months? Something going on there. $40 billion company. Of course, that's not what it was 2 months ago. It was a $6 billion company. Now it's a $40 billion company, and everybody's putting money into it. APLD, I mean, that's short at the moment. Yeah, but it had a nice bounce off of the 100 for bulls. It looks like the market's under a bit of pressure right now. It definitely bounced off of the VWAP during intraday trading. And so that's a bit of a sign of weakness on the market. Like I said, I think it's probably going to chop. And it might even break down a little bit. But IWM, small caps are holding fairly well. They tested VWAP, but have since bounced off out of it. I don't know if that'll hold. We'll see. But you got a green candle on IWM, a bit of weakness right at this very moment. But over on a QQQ, yeah, it's red, But that's the top weighted index. When you go to the equal weighted index and you give smalls and mids some more bigger pricing power, you see actually we're doing quite good. So breadth is favoring small caps and mid caps today. And let me see if we're having an improvement or where we're at with breadth. It's like it's right in the middle. Just spreading the word. Okay, Brian. Other than just being in the short term short on the market right now, I am basically all in cash, just waiting. And it seems like that's the kind of day it's going to be today. Iran, I don't know. I mean, I'm short it. It could be a spot where it stops moving down and maybe it turns around and goes long, but the market's just under too much pressure right now for anything to kind of move. So, in any event, I'm short it, but only short term. It doesn't indicate my sentiment on it is bearish. I'm just in a short little 5-day short trade on it. Yeah, GNS, Genius. No, it's a shitty penny stock. It came out of 30 cents and popped to $1, almost $2, which is great and all. But this huge pullback is quite weak, and you'd need this thing to be trending and trading smoothly for at least 5 months before you should touch it, because it's just too unpredictable. You you'll you have a chunk of your capital just taken away quite quickly. Got to wait for stocks to mature a little bit more. Give them 5 months out of coming out of a 200 moving average. 4 months maybe, and then 3 months if you're a master, you know what you're doing, and you know when to override things. It could, it's not just going to be just because. So, but I would just generally say 5 months, having come out of the 200 movie, having come price back over a 200 moving average. And also, what was that one you just said? GNS. Also, don't even be interested in stocks that have huge red overhead recently nearby. You don't want it to look like this on this left side of the chart, because every pop is going to be met with all these in pain bag holders selling a piece, and it adds a ton of pressure. It just becomes a waste of time. There's better places to move money around to make money. That's my opinion there, Mike, on GNS penny stock. CPAAS, where was that? Yeah, PAAS. That just reminds me of the Easter Bunny, Easter coloring, egg coloring kits. I think they were called. Weren't they called Paz? Let me see. Easter egg coloring kit. Yeah, yeah, they literally were. It was literally called. I remember that from my childhood correctly. Let me show you. Oh, it won't show me that. Okay, wait, hang on. There we go. I was right. Wouldn't that be funny if that's what this company did and they're this huge growth company? It's a $40 billion Easter egg dyeing coloring company. It's basically vinegar and oh, that's hilarious. That would be funny. I'm gonna leave that there so that we can check that out next time we pull that up. Wayfair. Wayfair's doing fine. Lemonade. Pass. Lemonade. Let's see. NVTS. Yeah, the market is still under a bit of pressure right now. Intraday. Let me see if it's showing up in small caps. Yeah, it kind of is now, actually. So if we're losing small caps, then we're losing mid caps. Let's see. Yep, we're losing mid caps and mega caps. Yeah, we've lost mega caps. Anything can happen, but it looks like the sentiment just isn't there right now on the market. Yeah, and gold is topped. I mean, it's put in an absolutely solid topping signal, which is an overextended exhaustion extension on super high volume, followed by a retest of low volume, below average volume, very low volume. That means it's got nothing left. That's it. Those tops last 400 days usually, but I'm going to say it's going to last at least 100 days. But I modified that earlier and said, okay, 3 months. That much I can say. I mean, so you can take a vacation from gold for 3 months, 100%. It's just not there. Wow, Dave breaking down strong. Which I don't know. I think this is what? This is some kind of finance company. So is SoFi breaking down too? No, it's not. So somehow Dave is not doing too well today in the last few days. And this is an excellent short that I may get at the end of the market today. Ear itching. So I'm going to go mark that in my trade log as a possible short to watch today. And what is today? November 17. Okay. Yeah, Rocket Lab may make a new low today. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a snack. Be right back. The Real G asks, thoughts on Oracle. Let me go take a look. Yeah, I said chart says stay away for a bit. Maybe in a few months it'll shape up better. All right, Rocket Lab might be doing that breakdown right now. Yeah, it's getting really close. It looks like the market wants to as well. Oh yeah, that's a breakdown on the day for Rocket Lab. Oh man, we're losing small caps now. IWM is going to reverse. So that's it, because that's high risk. So high risk is gone. Mid risk is gone. Mids. We're losing mids. We're losing mid risk, medium risk. And then low risk, we're losing low risk. So everything's going to be moving into safety right now. Maybe into energy. Let me see. Nope, energy's dropping as well. Bit of safe move into safety. Maybe there's a tiny bit of move into gold. Let's see. Nope. Nope. So is it going to staples then? Could be going to cash. There's a lot of money going into cash. I mean, this actually is not the right basket for that, but let's see. It's a DX. Yeah, there's the ICE futures. Will it actually show me real-time prices, or is this a day delayed? 10 minutes delay. Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, so there is money is flowing into cash, actually. Not even into gold. So does it mean it's not flowing into Bitcoin as well then? Yeah. For some reason, just trusting the US dollar. So that must mean that the bonds are going to do well, and that so bonds are going to go down then. The rates are. Let's see. Yep, rates are going down. All right, so that's what's going on. It's simply a move to cash. People aren't even really going to staples. I mean, let's take a look at, like, for example, Colgate. Yeah, actually, the money is flowing into Colgate, but I mean, okay. So the most basic fundamental staples, yeah, maybe Verizon, your typical defensive areas. Verizon is holding up. This is not a positive sign for this week. What's going on right now? He wanted me to take a look at Pfizer. It's a little better. Not really. ET. And real estate, no good either. O, take a look at O, the Realty Income Corporation. Yeah, no, it doesn't look too good. Let's see. I'm trying to find something for this fella. Some kind of chart that's just going sideways and is doing all right, not getting killed, and is not super extended because I don't think he likes that. It's actually good, but I don't think he likes to see that. Palantir's kind of holding up. SNDK with a 600% move in 2 months is insane. It's incredible. Robinhood's kind of looking all right. Let me get my live stream shared to platform here. All right. Just going down the list. I've already looked at some of these stuff. Oh, here I got an alert on VSAT. Let's see. Not a lot to love on the market today. Celestica, I think they do energy. Let me see. Oh, electronic. Okay. LPTH. Let me see. Yeah, that looks good. I mean, let's just see where it goes. It's a pretty volatile, choppy uh, mover, but it's made some good progress. Yeah, I'll pass that on to this dude as well. Tesla remaining nice and strong all day today. Google's getting quite strong. It's even got momentum. Hmm. Choppy sideways. The market is looking choppy sideways today. And again, a little bit weak. Hints of weakness, I'd say. How much money would someone need to start trading successfully? Well, that question is actually flawed because it's not about the money that makes you trade successfully. Uh, I guess you could say you should spend money on books and a mentor like private lessons for half a year minimum to learn everything you need to learn just to maybe be ready. And even then, you're probably not ready yet. So, but that amount of money is, I don't know. I mean, like, a mentor might be between $50 and $150 per hour session, and then books, which are, I don't know, $20 to $30 each. Some of them can be 40 or $50. They're really some of the good ones. So, you know, there you go. And then also, but if you just wanted to fuck around and lose money, well, you could probably get a futures account for a couple $100 with Trade-O-Vate, and then or a couple $1,000 if you like losing thousands of dollars. You could try that over at Webull, perhaps, or Robinhood. But you're going to lose all your money. So, my recommendation is don't try to trade before you learn how to trade. Like, I mean, you don't actually think you're playing good poker when you sit down at a penny table to play poker, do you? Or like a 25-cent, 50-cent table? Like, you don't actually think you're playing good poker, maybe even if you're winning at a table like that, do you? Like, you'd need to sit down with a couple thousand at a 5-10 or a 10-20 table, and you will get your ass totally and completely handed to you. And then maybe if you're persistent, you'll give it a year or two of intensely trying and studying as intense as possible, and then maybe you're going to be doing okay. You see, and that's the way it is with everything. It's not just like blackjack. You're going to go in there and you're going to be the fucking shit, because even those guys are not the fucking shit. It is not going to work out. So anyway, that's the honest truth. I'm just trying to save you some money. Let's see here. So the long and short of it is, I would spend any money on learning, and really a mentor, because a mentor is going to accelerate the learning curve by 10x. This one, I don't. Hopefully, I'm allowed to like promote a book on here. Screenshot this. You ready? Let me know when you screenshot it. Get this orange one, 4th edition. Got it. All right. And start reading that. That's the Bible. That has created more $100 million traders than any other book in the history of trading. There's a lot to learn in there. And by the way, the first half of the book are charts. How are you going to know what to learn by looking at those charts? So start the book halfway into the book where the book starts. Read all that. Then go back and look at the charts. I don't know why they put it at the beginning. I do, yeah. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I've been doing this for 30 years. Thank you. I do. So, send me a private message. Don't forget to follow me as well. So next time I'm live or whatnot, you can catch me. Well, looks like I'm going to take another piece out of Selk. It just continues to do well. I've been following for a long time. Okay. Got pumped and dumped a couple times. Yeah. And stopped trading. Yeah. I mean, you can figure it all out yourself. It just takes about 10 years. You get a mentor. It probably takes 9 years. You get a mentor and you can probably be a master by 9 months. But that's if you approached it like university, like you got a mentor and maybe you had a lesson once a week, and that mentor also assigned you some homework, and you got a lot of skill practice in. And so in maybe 9 months, yeah, you could be a master. But it takes money. I'm $100 an hour. But somebody else might be 60 or 50 or even 40 maybe. Um, there's guys that are $1,000 an hour. So I'm 100. And then so if you were to do that once a week, that's $400 a month times 9 months is almost $4,000. It's $3,600. So $3,600 across uh, 9 months, and you come out the other end having 10 years of mastery, taught into you, because you can't know what's not good. You have to have a mentor. It takes too long for you to figure out what you thought was good turns out to be bad, and what you thought was bad turns out to be good. And then 3 years later, you find out actually what that was bad, what you thought was bad, and what you thought was good that was bad was actually good. And then 7 years later, you find out, holy shit, it's all bad, and you really got to focus on this other stuff. And like so, you're not gonna find out how to trade successfully in less than 10 years by yourself. That's just the truth of the matter. It's going to take at least 10 years, maybe 9, maybe 8, but that's about it. That's the best it goes. So yeah, my recommendations to people are, just educate yourself, fine, learn on your own, but boy, you know, why not save money and take what you would have lost and pay a mentor and get to where you'd want to be in a year, which would have taken you 10 years, you know. But, the students that I take on, they're serious. They decided, yeah, that's something they want to do. Not everybody is really that serious, you know. I mean, I think most people who pass by the stock market, trading, whatever, investing, they don't know quite how to think of it. They think of it like a giant casino. And they're like, oh shit, I heard this guy made a fucking fortune. They don't check on that guy a year later or 2 years later when he lost it all. With all the gatekeeping, how do you know who is a good mentor? I'll give you the greatest tip ever on how to know who's a good mentor. If they've been trading for over 10 years. That's the best bottom line, man. If they've been trading for 3 years, fucking forget it. 1 year, forget it. 7 years, seriously, just forget it. Let other people you know, go through that person's deal. But like, 10 years, yeah, okay, finally, that person is, you could say, a time-tested veteran. I've been doing it for 30 years, but a lot of people have. A lot of people who teach and who mentor have been doing it for a long time. You can find them out there, and it depends on what you want to learn. But what I do best is swing trading. And then if it were to come, like I could even do an orientation session. We do a one private lesson where we figure out what's best for you based on your lifestyle, goals, thoughts, thinking, what you're good at, what you're bad at. We figure it out. What sounds good to you, what doesn't sound good to you, then we figure it out. And if it turns out, you need to specialize in a particular kind of trading, then I go, okay, well, this is the best guy you're going to go to. And I give you, it might not be me, like, 7 out of 10 ways to trade are not the ways that I trade. And if that's what we determine is what you're going after and you want to master, I know the exact freaking dudes for you to go to, and then I would recommend that. Good morning, Joel. All right, we're starting to get some things move in our direction here. Looks like BX short is moving in our direction. I think the market itself is breaking down. Let's go take a look. Yup. Like I said back here, it didn't look too good when it broke down VWAP. Then it retested and just couldn't hold it. And so it lost VWAP, and now it's breaking down right now, like the last 2 minutes, last 70, 80 seconds. So the market's breaking down a little bit, and I think we'll probably see the highest risk, IWM, breaking down the strongest right now. Yeah, people want to take their money off of the high risk markets. And that's what I'm short. I'm short the high risk markets because it's not where people want to be putting their money right now. So that's why I'm short them. Let's see, CDNS. Yep, getting some push down on that, which is what we're looking for. Rocket Lab, maybe finally making a new low. Yes, Rocket Lab made a new low. That's excellent. That's in our direction. We're on day 2 on Rocket Lab short. We're in day 4 on, for example, CDNS. This is the 4th day, so we got in here and it's been going down. But definitely one of the better shorts that I took was APLD, even though it's having a nice bounce today and yesterday. We got in here at about like 29 and it moved down to 20. That's a good short right there. But we're going to let that play out for 5 days. Today's the 4th day. I'm going to close it out at the end of tomorrow. It's a system. It's a 5-day short. Ooh. All right. PSTG starting to break down now. That is really good for me, for my short. Oh, okay. It says you just, I guess because of your gift giving or something, Joel, it says you reached fan level 2, which I don't even know what that means, but what is, there's a button called celebrate. What the hell is going to happen? Huh. I guess it gives you a sticker or something. Oops, yeah, I don't know and what's happening. I've never done that before. But I'll read more about it. I'll figure it out. Okay, Iran is, what is it doing? Okay, Iran is pulling down. Wolf, I think that was the IPO recently. Yeah. It continues to not do well. IWM now probably breaking down. Yep, we're getting a red day on IWM and we're getting a red day on the Qs. There we go. And the S&P 500 red. There it is. And that's what I need for my shorts to be pushing down into their um, profit targets. I'm trying to still get my 1-to-1, I think, on, is it CDNS? Let me see. Maybe not. Something I haven't hit my 1-to-1 on. Nope, I haven't hit my 1-to-1 on CDNS. That is correct. And the other one is SYM, I think. Nope, I hit my 1-to-1 there. HY. Woo, what a beautiful short that's been. There's been red. You can see here short 683 shares. Stop right up there. And then 1-to-1 target cover. Half of that right there at 28. So I was short at 30.50. Covered at 28.75. So just a little, you don't need much. But that's thousands of dollars in return. And then APLD had a nice bounce off the 100, but yeah, we'll see where it ends up. End of day tomorrow. I'm holding most of these shorts until end of day tomorrow from a couple of days ago. And then I have some new shorts, which are in the day 2. So we got 3 more days. That'll be a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So at the end of day Thursday, I would close those out. And those are like AVAV. What's the one that I'm up the most on? That would be Galaxy. But these take some time to hit their targets. That's why they're 5-day shorts. Oh, the market's definitely pushing down now. Look at that. Yeah, it's about to turn red on the day, the Qs. I think S&P's already red. Yes, it is. And of course, IWM, the highest risk stocks, are red, have been red since for about an hour now. And then mid caps, they've been red for about 45 minutes. So everything's keeling over, one by one. See it more pronounced on the 5-minute chart. But the 1-minute chart, I think, illustrates it pretty well. What is that? Option enter. Let me see. Control enter. Option command. It must be option enter. Okay, let me try that. That's cool. How to make it big. Oh man. Well, number one, for reasons that one day when you get divorced, you'll realize I can't really share how much I'm making. Okay, so but I am doing in percentage terms. I'm doing over 100% this year so far, and but biggest gain I ever made, I think it was 1.7 million, but that was when I was an idiot. Probably 25 years ago. Because shortly thereafter, that same year, I lost 1.2 million. I gave it all back. So there you are. Best day 1.7 million, worst day 1.2 million loss. But that's how you learn. And it is not fun. Nope. But that's why it's good to get a mentor who's. I always say that's another thing. Somebody asked me earlier, I don't know, about 10 minutes ago, how do you suss out a good mentor? Number one, I said make sure they've been trading for at least 10 years. I think number two also is make sure, like, don't ever trust anyone who hasn't lost a fortune at least once, because they just don't know what they're dealing with and talking about. It's sort of like Scarface, right? Like, he didn't consider the downside. And look what happened. It's called a cautionary tale, or Wolf of Wall Street, right? Didn't consider the downside. What are the repercussions? Until those guys have been through it and come out the other end, you don't trust them. Until somebody hasn't lost everything, lost the entire fortune at least once, you can't trust them. And plus, like I said, they need to have traded for at least 10 years. So now you can actually trust Jordan Belfort, because he's not going to want to go back to jail. He's learned the downsides. He's going to be a more up and up type of person. But maybe that's not the best example. I wouldn't say go grab him as a mentor. But the idea is that a person should have understood what risk is. If somebody's telling you don't touch the fire and they're a mentor, that's something. But if somebody is saying like, don't worry about it. I made $1 million, the other day or something, and so you're like, well, okay, and then you get burnt because he didn't properly understand, the risks of fire. Let's see. I need to look at some of these stocks, see how they're moving. So we have CDNS moving in our direction. We've got Rocket Lab short moving in our direction. Yeah, Rocket Lab looks great. In fact, I might be nearing my 1-to-1 on that. Let me go see. Rocket Lab. No, it's only just beginning. Okay. Well, I'm about a third of the way to my target on Rocket Lab. The one that I'm closest to my target is about 2/3 of the way is Galaxy. Yeah, it's about 2/3 of the way to my 1-to-1 target. And let's see, CDNS. Yep, that's getting mighty close. SYM, we already hit it. IREN, we're doing fantastic. HY, amazing. And then APLD. So we'll be closing those trades out tomorrow at the end of the day. Those are 5-day shorts. All right, guys, I'm going to take my first break, but the live stream will keep going. So I'll be back in 10, 20, 30 minutes. Or I might even check in faster than that. We'll see. What a bounce. Let's see here. Oops, wrong one. Let's see how different stocks reacted just now to the bounce there. That'll be important to note. Okay, APLD was able to get back up above VWAP and the open, so that's pretty strong. CDNS was able to get above VWAP and the open. HY, VWAP in the open. IREN over VWAP, and it's been over the open the whole day, so IREN's pretty strong. SYM, chopping VWAP. Chopping VWAP, please. Okay, now Rocket Lab couldn't even get over VWAP, so Rocket Lab's pretty weak today. PSTG couldn't quite get over the open, so it's a bit weak as well. PRIM got over the VWAP and open. MSI couldn't do anything, not even a bounce. That's as weak as it gets. MSI tanking, very weak. Galaxy couldn't get over the open or VWAP. Neither could Fix. Well, it's been over the open the whole day actually. EX just barely got to VWAP. Probably going to reflect off it. So BX kind of weak. BWXT bounced off VWAP, but couldn't get above the open. So that's not too good. And AVAV. Okay. So it's still below the open and cut through VWAP. General market is chop right in the middle of the day. Just chop. Small caps, similar. Mid caps, similar. S&P 500, a little bit stronger than growth, I think. Let me see. Yeah, just an inch stronger than growth. Probably because a lot of money is flowing into industrials and defensives, which are in the S&P 500 but not in Nasdaq. Equal weighted Nasdaq growth looking okay. Equal weighted SPY S&P 500 not looking as good. So it's a bit mixed right now. Let's go look at TMQ. Nope. And light. Yeah, ordinarily, this would be someplace I allocate my money, and light looks, light looks great, but the market's just not in the right spot to be exposing capital right now. Tesla remains strong just all day. Holding VWAP the whole day long. Oh, I'll be back in a minute, guys. Alrighty, I'm back. Oops, not 4 Qs. Yeah, that was pretty nice sustained bounce over VWAP. Sign of strength, I'd say. And it looks like, however, the highest risk assets got left in the dust a little bit. Kind of what we would expect too. And Tesla just continues to get lifted up. I am going to have to stop out of a particular short that I had on that, probably by end of day today. Trying to figure out on Mac how do you change the screensaver trigger time? It's not really giving me those options. I'm trying to figure out where they would have this. I think Control Center, probably. Let's see. Strange. I've found it in the past so easily. And now I don't know. Maybe in general. Okay, let's see. Extensions. No, maybe device management. Nope. Apple Intelligence. Can it do it? I don't have that turned on. Maybe it's in the display drop-down menu. Let's see. Oh yeah, let's take a look at some of these stocks that have been alerting. Crazy how you can't find that very well anymore. I mean, I go to screensaver, it's not there. Wallpaper? They put it in wallpaper? No. Notifications, sound, focus. Do not disturb is on. I wonder if that changes anything. No. Lock screen? Maybe it's lock screen. Oh, there it is. It's in lock screen. Why would they put it there? Okay. Start screensaver when inactive. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay. That's fine. Strongest move down coming from looks like Galaxy and also Rocket Lab. Galaxy, okay, and then Rocket Lab. Yeah, they both look roughly the same. They're both responding very similar. Okay. All right, CVI. Yeah, nice. I mean, the day is definitely under pressure. And the market has been under pressure. Everybody wants a bullish bounce, but I don't think anybody's willing to pay to make it happen. That's the problem. You've been casually charting and trading for 45 years. Okay. Like to chat about taking the next steps. Yeah, man. So I've been trading for 30 years, and I definitely recommend mentorship. Mentorship will accelerate you from 8 or 9 years or even 10 years of necessary experience in order to get to where you'll need to be consistent and profitable and successful to like 1 year, maybe 9 months, and you've already been trading for 4 to 5 years. So, we could probably do it uh, faster. It would depend. So feel free to shoot me a private message. Um, if you want to write down my email address, I'll say it live. I'm not going to type it anywhere, but I'll say it live, and you can write it down. Yeah, I mean, to start, message here on TikTok. But I mean, ideally, if you could find me on my Discord or uh, Twitter, but eventually, and then Gmail, my email, and or we'll get it connected over phone as well, or WhatsApp or something. So, let's start connecting up. So I definitely mentor people who are serious. So it sounds like you're ready. And, that's what they say. When a student is ready, the master appears. Like, where have I been? Like, and then you're ready, you know, it's just crazy proverb how true that can be. So I look forward to helping you, brother. And, send me a message. Do you have a pen? You want to write down my email? Like, because email is probably like the number 2 best way you could ever reach me. Number 1 being my telephone, and then number 3 is all this social media shit. All right, here it is. Well, tell me when you're ready. I want to make sure you have a pen or whatever. 'Cause I'm going to say it. I'm not going to type it. I don't want any bots or machines freaking knowing it. Okay. EVAN, because that's my name, Evan. And then again, EVANS, because that's my last name. My name is Evan Evans. All right. And then 333. So that's 3 3s at gmail.com. Hope I can say that on TikToks. They don't have a problem with that. I don't need any marks against me on my live stream. But yeah, I look forward to helping you, Jay. Just mention, that you were the guy. And yeah, get you on the right track. Cool, man. Noah, good morning to you. Yeah, it's here. It's already 12:15 now. You must be a West Coast or something. Where are you at, Noah? And we'll figure out we'll do an orientation session. We'll figure out what's going to be best for you, Jay. I'll figure it out. I'll know. Okay, you want to go this way and that way. Okay, yeah, that could be good. But there's also this, and then we'll figure it out. And by the way, if like what the way you want to trade requires a different mentor, I'm going to tell you which mentor to go to. So, I'm here to help. Period. New York? Oh, all right. All right. Good morning to you. Lunch break in New York. What are you going to have for lunch? You're in New York. Are you in New York City or are you in New York? Because if you're in New York City, that's why I asked, what are you going to have for lunch? you know, have a slice of pizza for me, would you? If you're in New York City. Or a, hot dog. Man, I got what did I get? A churro in Central Park when I was walking through Central Park last time I was there, a couple months ago. And I'll never fucking buy anything in Central Park ever again. Holy shit. So I get it, and it was hard as a rock. So I'm like, it's fucking stale, right? I didn't even realize that till halfway down the line, walking away from the guy. Then I was going to book a 6 p.m. class. No, you can do that if it's in there. But by the way, if there's no time slot that matches what you need, just type that into your uh, intake for scheduling our session, and I'm sure I can make arrangements to make your time work. Okay? Yeah. So you're good there. So anyway, I'm walking away in Central Park with this freaking hard as rock churro. So I go back and ask. I tell him, it's hard as a rock. It's stale. It's no good. And so the guy takes it from me like violently. It gives me like this, and then he goes, "Here, you want another churro there?" And fucking he wraps it up in a tin foil, and he gives it to me, and I'm just like, "All right, just get the hell out of there," you know. Not that like I'm not unused to dealing with fucking crazy people, but that guy was a fucking nutcase, and yeah, I'm never gonna buy anything inside Central Park ever again. That was hilarious. But the food stands throughout Manhattan, those are good. But that sucked. That experience was no good. Yeah. Hey Norman, all right. Welcome back. That's cool. I am here. Let's see. Yeah, but today is it's an interesting day on the stock market. Let's go take a look again because it's like back and forth. It's just a chop day. It's just a chop kind of day. But what's going on with Tesla now? I think it pulled back kind of hard. Let me see. Not super hard, but harder than it oughta. Want to look at SMCI? I mean, I could look at it, but I already know that it didn't look good. I looked at it. It's dead. Yeah, no, we don't want to trade that. That's as dead as it gets. Yeah. No, forget about SMCI. My God, that's so old news. Like that topped out and it was done March 2024. Did you know that if a stock falls, what is the statistics? If a stock falls 80%, and this one did, I think it. Let's take a look. Okay, then it's a minimum of 10 years before it will ever get back to the previous price. Obviously, that statistic is not 100%, but it's actually very high percent. It's like 99%. Only a very rare outlier might change that. So, you know, and by the way, if a stock drops 50% from its highs, it is, I forget the exact statistics. 2 years, 1 to 2 years before it will reach that high again. And by the way, gold has definitely topped. We have an absolute signal here, and it's not just because of what I just was saying. It's because we had a high volume, exhaustive extension on a rally with high volume. See that? That sort of like sets an anchor. It's like poking, imagine like poking a pin into the top like that, like really aggressively, right? Volume does that. So it puts it in and then came back down. And then the retest is on low volume. See that down there? Very low volume, which means it's over. And it actually typically means it's 400 days minimum before you'll ever get above this price again. Minimum. And so what I said earlier in the broadcast earlier this morning was, maybe it'll be 100 days. Give it 100 days at least. Like just take a vacation from gold for 100 days. It's over. And then I said, okay, maybe just round it off to 3 months. So there's a lot of people that were hot on gold, and but it looks absolutely over now, and that's mainly because of this low volume retest. It's a super low volume retest. It's done. I mean, that just completely sets it in stone. So right now, what we're doing is we're just waiting for the market to come into a favorable positioning again, and it is not. It's going to take some time. Breadth, which is a percent of stocks above the 200-day moving average, needs to get above the 50 moving average just to even begin to be okay. It does need to get, if it can get above the 10 moving average, and perhaps the 10 can get above the 20, then maybe we're moving in the right direction. That's going to take at least, maybe 3, 4, 5 days minimum. So this week, it's just sort of not happening this week. But NVIDIA does report earnings on Wednesday. And I don't know, what's going to happen there. But I don't think that even if NVIDIA posts good earnings, I don't really think that's going to change the market right now. And on the contrary, maybe it won't boast the greatest earnings. And I don't think that will bode well for the market very much at all. So my point is right now, don't even really need to be looking for anything. I mean, there's tons of stocks that look gorgeous. So everything's ready, but it's just the market's just not going to carry it. It's just not going to carry entries forward. It's just not going to happen. It needs to settle down, settle in for a while. I would love to see, giant correction like that. That would be great. But I don't know. But perhaps we'll pull back for a little while longer. So yeah, I wouldn't be too, excited about getting anything right now. It's just not a good idea to expose capital right now. I'm in this puppy Silk. It's doing good. What's the white line? Where in all the charts? That's the 100 moving average. I think maybe you're talking about. That's the 100 on my chart. If that's the white line you're talking about, I think so. There might have been another white line, but I think that's the one you're talking about. And the green is the 50 moving average. Yeah. And the red is the 200 moving average. And then the orange is the 20, and the yellow is the 10. And then I have this really kind of fast moving adaptive moving average. It can be slow, it can be fast. It's very adaptive. That sometimes can get faster than the 10, and sometimes can be slower than the 20. So it's very cool adaptive moving average called the Kaufman Adaptive Moving Average, KAMA, KAMA. That's what I have there, like sort of highlighting price whenever it's encapsulated by KAMA. And then it's just my own custom sort of everything. Here I have these really, I call them fat wicks. The wicks on my candles are a little bit thicker so you can see them and give them a little more credit. Sometimes when they're real skinny, I find you dismiss them with your mind, and sometimes you need to give them credit. So I like my wicks fat. I like thick wicks. Well, maybe not. Anyway, we don't like where that just went, but you'll get what I mean. Let's see here. AVAV is now moving down. Okay, good. And Rocket Lab continues to drop. Nice. 376 Galaxy. Okay, we're still at 2/3 towards my 1-to-1 target on the short on Galaxy. I have about 10 short positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have 14 short positions right now. They're just 5-day shorts. They're just little, they don't mean I think the market's crashing or I'm a bear or anything. They just mean I like making money. That's all. It doesn't matter. I go which way things go. So let's see. Yeah, so I'm in 14 different shorts there. But there's lots of good stocks out there. I mean, stuff looks great. Obviously, Micron's doing incredible. So not everything's doing bad, but you don't really have to try and get into anything right now. You're better off just waiting until everything just sort of settles down, settles down and settles in, and then you start allocating some thirds and some tiny positions, and seeing how they go. See if you get traction, and if you get traction, then you start playing your game, playing the long game, essentially. So many good stocks out there, just sort of waiting for the market to give us the green light to allocate. Pretty much IWM needs to get above the 50. It needs to get above all the moving averages. Or it needs to put in some kind of catalyst day, which it hasn't done. This has been the last catalyst day that happened, and that was a negative catalyst. And yeah, the whole market just basically has keeled over and buckled over since then. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab some water. I can feel my voice is a little bit scratchy. Be right back.